Hello and welcome back. It's Kate from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm back with a new series for a autumn Flippy Flappy folio. I have pre-done the folio, but I've decided that I'm going to sort the measurements out and do this on screen with you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I was inspired by Mandy's beautiful kit. This is part of her kit. I've printed out a few things for me to get started. So they are lovely papers. This was a freebie one, which I really like actually. I love this clock and all the other bits. And it does still quite go. The colours are very similar, so I've added it to that to start with. So it is a Flippy Flappy folio. It's not one that I've done before. It's one that I've just put together. Part of it is from the inspiration of the old school detective. I wanted to add a few folio pockets. I've got a Flippy Flappy here, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. I might decide to do a weird belly band there. Not sure yet. And then this side is a bit of a Flippy Flappy sort of thing going on there. So I've decided to do all the measurements for you, like I said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them up. I'm going to type them up, and they're going to be added in to the bottom of the description for you to follow. Now I've done this in black, and I think on film it's going to be too dark for me to use it. So I'm going to do the test on, see, I love it on the back of that though. I really do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away. I'm going to put all my pieces on here so that I can show you the finished article before I start. There's just a couple of things that I want to show you beforehand. I have picked this green to go with this kit, and I think that might work, and that would probably look a little bit better on camera. So I might just do that. I don't know yet, but I'm going to test it in black first. Now, the thing that brought me to this folio, apart from the few things that I really liked about the old school detective, is I found this on Pinterest and thought it was fabulous. It is a very much a Flippy Flappy, and I just wanted to see how I could use this in a, look at that case, love it. I don't know, it's meant to hold photographs, which is what it was for initially, but it folds to nothing, and it's so well thought out. I mean, that just folds to nothing. I know obviously when you put things in it, it will, but I wanted to sort of use that in some way. I don't think I can incorporate it into this because I think it'll be too big, but we'll see. So I wanted to show you that first. Let's get the creative juices flowing for that one and see what you can come up with. Maybe some suggestions in the comments would be great. The other thing that I wanted to show you, if I can remember where I've put it, is I printed this out. I watched Julie's from Jules Designs. I think it's Jules something Designs. I'll link her down below anyway, because she did this washi video, this faux washi video, where she put the washi tape on some plastic and popped it through her printer. And she did it with a template. And I thought, well, surely that'll work if I haven't got a template. So I did. I just popped that through, and that's how it came out. Obviously in between you do get the ink, and I just had to wipe that away. All I've done is stick mine on acetate, and then so what I did because this is quite dull, and she does say in the video that it does go a bit more opaque. The colours don't show as well. I don't know whether it's because it's on masking tape or what it is, but this works with a fabric tape. So I got this fabric tape after seeing Artie Mays do it with the fabric tape, and did it with that, and it works with that as well. So you just do exactly, the process is exactly the same. You just stick it down and pop it through the printer. So I thought, well, I'll try a different one on the back, and this is what I got on the back. I think this is an Artie Mays freebie. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. And that it is really good. I actually quite like the look of it. I put the tape closer together this time. Didn't get it quite in the right way where the butterflies were, but to be honest, I could use this now to line up so that I get these butterflies on this tape. Could either do that, or you can just wing it like I did, and it literally does just peel off. So you just get the ends, peel it off to where you want it, and then you've got a nice piece of faux washi, which I think is lovely. So I'm really pleased with the way that turned out, and I'll definitely be using that in my folio. So yeah, I think it's great. So I'm going to put the papers onto my folio and see what it looks like on the black, because I'm not 100% about the green. So I'm going to think about it a little bit longer, and then I'll come back. Although I do like it. When you look at it like that, it does look nice. I don't know. Give me some idea what you think. Right, so yeah, give me 10 and I'll be back.
Okay, so I'm back. I've decided to stay with the black purely because there's a lot of black elements in this kit that I want to use of Mandy's. This one would have actually been better with the green because obviously there's a lot of green in it, and it would have been better with a greener card, but I didn't. I wanted to fill up the one that I showed you in the earlier part of this video. So it's got about 20 pockets in. It's got plenty of flippy flappy things, and this will be what you will end up with. So I will talk through the measurements of everything as I go along, but I will hopefully type up the measurements, and it will be on the end of this video if I can make it work. So this is the front, and what I did was I covered it, and then I made this little topper to go on the top. This was a cluster that I made in an earlier video. We open it up. We've got a little tuck spot here made from a cluster from that bit as well. A couple of pockets there and there with some ephemera in. Another couple of pockets here. This is just because this was part of the kit. This isn't. We will make some, but it will look a little different with the other kit. We've got another flap here, and this is a tuck spot there with a cluster, and then beautiful picture there. A flip up with a double pocket in here, here, and here. And then we've got a flip down, gorgeous piece there as well. And that's got 2 pockets in here. That's an envelope and some ephemera, and another envelope and some ephemera. But there's your 2 pockets there. So I hope it's all making sense so far. So yeah, flap down, flap up, and closed. This worked out really well actually with the 2 things either side there. So it's the sort of thing you need to look for when you're doing flippy flappies is the way you close it and what you ended up with as a whole picture. This has got 3 little pockets on, another envelope and a piece of ephemera in there. just some ephemera there. So this is a 3 set, which is like a hidden pocket because they match. And sorry, I've just used paper for this bit of ephemera. It was what I had left over from some clusters, so, and that goes in there. So this then opens up. This is a pocket, and this is just a journaling spot file card. And this opens up, and you've got a double pocket here as like a file folder. You've got another pocket there with a file card in as a journaling spot, and then you've got 3 pockets here which all slip into each other. And then this is your middle. You've got another pocket there. That's just made with a bit of a cluster piece. We flip this one down to reveal this. You can add more to these if you want. I didn't, because I was just doing this as a showpiece. And there's that one. And then in the middle here, we have an acetate window pocket. So you've got a deepish pocket there, and this window just slips into there like that. That was an element taken from the old school detective. So, and this was actually. So this is quite a nice little folio. Nothing on the back, but again, you could put a pocket on the back of there. We'll see how we go with this one and what we change up and stuff like that. So I'm going to get started. I'm just going to put that out of the way. So we've got our pieces, and I've got some ephemera pieces cut, and I've got some papers ready. That's just words I'll cut out as and when I need them. And these are some of the beautiful papers from Mandy's kit. I know that you've had a flip through already from Mandy, but I just thought I'd give you a quick overview. This isn't all of them either. This is just some that I've picked for this folio. Nice journaling size page there, and again there you could write on most of these. Some more busier page, another nice one to write on. So yeah, we've got some. I love this, and that was one of her freebies. I was thinking of using it for the front of my cover, but I'm still not sure yet. So I'll just leave those there for now as I talk through these. So we need, I don't know how many pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pieces we need. I've used A to N as my guide, but you can use numbers, it's fine. You need 7 pieces of A4 cardstock. This isn't a very thick cardstock. I think it's about 200 GSM. So I think what we'll do next is we will start with our pieces, and we'll do all the scoring. I've put these on here just to remind me what they are. This is your main base page. So A is your full A4 sheet base page. We need to make a 1/2 inch spine for it. That's it. That's what I'm after. I'm just going to move that over to there. So the way I do it is I do it in the middle, and I just pinch that end there. If it was on a different card, you would probably see it. And then what I do is I put it in the middle of my board, which gives me my middle measurements. That's my centerpiece. And then I do a 1/4 inch that side and a 1/4 inch that side, and that gives me my 1/2 inch spine. So all I'm going to do is do it at 6 1/4. Yeah, 6 1/4 for that line, and 5 3/4 for that side. Yeah. And just do that one, and then hopefully that gives you your first base page. We don't need to score that one. And then if we take, it would have been better if I'd have had them in order, but I haven't. So B is your top of your page flap. So your page is going to go that way. So you want to score down that way at half inch. Okay, we'll do these as quickly as we can. This one then, C, is your bottom flap. So again, you're just going to score half inch on that side there. And then D and E are your side flaps for your folio, and they're going to go that way. So we need to score these at half inch that side. Okay. Burnish that one. The only thing about black card is that it marks when you do score. So that is D and E. F is your 2 flaps for your middle page, and I think they go up and down, don't they, the large ones? So you want to score them that side and that side at half inch. Same for this one. I'll do it the other way because the F's on there. So that's your F and G. Then your I and your J, which are your side pockets for your last flap. Then you've got, shall we do L? Okay, L. K and L are your file pockets. So they don't need scoring because you're going to use these to join them up. So these just need to have the files put in, which I'll do in just a second. So we're jumping on to M, and N was your acetate window, which we don't need to score. So for these ones, we want them scored long ways, and we're just doing these at a half inch intervals. So you need 3 score lines in each. Okay, so you need to do all 4 the same. This is going to create your gusset for your pocket, or for both your pockets, which is why you need 4. It's just 2. And then for K, which is the last piece we have, I won't score those just yet. These are your pockets which make your file folder. So I'm just going to get my scoreboard, and you can do these both at exactly the same time if you want to, because you can just turn them round. Because of the way that we attach them, it doesn't really matter. So how I'm going to do this is we do the first edge, you start that way, and we're just going to punch that out so that you've started your file there. And then I think I made them about 3 inches, I think, because of the span. So it's possibly 3 inches. And now we've got both of those. So what I'm going to do now is keep them together and then move my rubbish. And then what I do is I line it up on my square boards. So line it up on my board, and I'm just going to take a thin ruler, and I'm literally just going to, I need that to go a little bit further up. So I line it up this way and this way to make it straight. And then I'm just going to go to the edge of there and possibly to the edge of there. And then I'm going to hold that down and I'm just going to cut that out. And if you do them both at the same time, you know that they're both exactly the same. Okay, and they become your file pockets because you're just going to turn them around like that. Okay, so you did them both at the same time. They're exactly the same size. So when you do them like that, this part matches. And then you've got a file this end and a file that end. Okay, so now we've got all that sorted. I'm just going to sort my desk a minute. And we're going to start the assembly. I'm going to move this because we're not actually going to get to that today. Just so that we've got a bit of extra space. So right, so we're going to start then. This is our A piece. And we're then going to attach our piece. Let me just do the... So if I put them in some form of order, so you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then those pieces there. So I'm going to add this piece first, and then that creates our base for the folio. So I am going to use art glitter, but just because it dries really quickly. If you're more comfortable using Collal or one that dries a little slower, just to give you time for it to dry, that's fine, so that you can maneuver it. You don't get a lot of maneuver room with art glitter, unfortunately. And then we're just going to pop that in line with that. Perfect. And there we've got that first page on. Okay, we'll make sure that closes. Make sure that closes. That's fine. So for your first lot of Flippy Flappies, we need the inside ones to go on first, and that is your B. So B and C go on first, and that becomes your large front flaps. And then these ones can go on in a minute. So we're going to do B and then we're going to do C. Turn your folio around just so that you can maneuver it from the edge. There we go. Make sure that folds down. Put that away. Okay, do the same with C. and we're going to line that up with that edge, and we're going to, oh, that one didn't want to stick, and line it up with that edge and push that in, fold it over and crease. There we go. Okay, so now you've got your B and C in. Your D and E are these side flaps here. Now these can go wherever you want them to. I want mine sort of so it gives me the optimum space here and here. So I'm going to be putting mine there and there. I'm then going to put these, instead of doing what I've done here, which I've done it so that they're underneath, I'm going to put these ones actually on this base. So this one will go here and it will be under there, and the same with this one. So you want to glue on the outer side, not the inside when you do this. And at this point it doesn't matter which one is which. You don't want it to go right up to that line, because you still want this to be able to fold down. And then this one is going to go here, just shy of that line there, and because of the way we're doing it on top of the page, you want to do the outer edge of this one too. So your outer lip. Okay, so I'm now going to pop that there and pop that there. You need to be just shy of the score lines that you've already got, because that needs to come up and across, that one needs to come down and across as well, and we need that to be flat. Okay, so you've got your first part of your folio done. Okay, then we go into the middle page and we have G and F. Now I'm putting these on the back because I just think it is better to do that, and these need to line up. So pop your first one on, and we're going to glue from the inside this time because I'm going to put it on the back of the folio. I'm going to turn that around just to line it up. Don't want to do that. So just want to line that up in the right place, just so that it's slightly shy of those score lines. There we go. Make sure that closes. Yeah, it does. So there we go. That's right up to the edge there. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one down this time when I fit this one, just so that I can line it up. Okay, so I'm going to slide that into there, and then before I press it down, I'm just going to line that up with that. It's about right. And then I crease that in there. Just watch that there's no glue on the inside going to stick. Okay. And then you've already got your second part. With this one, we do have to add that in as we put the paper in. So what I would be tending to do is when we come to paper, the inside of this is when we'll put this in. So you don't need that at the moment whilst you're building your construction part. Okay, so we can all those down. So we're working on our last page now, and there is the 2 pockets I don't think we'll add at this stage. I'm just going to do the 2 file folder pieces. Yeah. So they're going to fit in like this. So that's in line, but we need to add these to connect it all together. So what we need to do with these, let me just pop my pin in there. What we really need to do with these is create these gussets for our file pockets, and you're going to be making it into an M or a W, depends on how you work it, but both ways it's fine. Okay, and then what we do with all of these is exactly the same, just concertina it. They don't need to be overly burnished because you need them to be quite springy. I find that if you burnish them, it does tend to, I mean, you can flatten them if you want to. I just find it easier. And what we want to do is we want this V, the V that's in the middle, is what you want on the inside. So one goes here. So if you squeeze the middle together, you end up with that. These are your glue lines. These parts are the parts that are going to be glued in one form or another. What we want is, we want the opening to be, oh, let me just check what I'm saying. Yeah, the V needs to be on the inside. So if you look at it that way, then this point here is your inner point. So your card goes down like so. So you go down there and you glue that onto there. I'm going to do the pockets first though, because it makes it easier. So we need all 4 to go on our file pockets. And what we need to do is we need to have them round the right way. So if I put that one there and that one there, that's fine. So what we're going to do first is we're going to join the pockets. So our V goes into the middle, and we're just going to glue that there. So this is the first piece. And I'm just going to hold that closed just a little up from the bottom, and then right on that edge, just bring it in, let it open up, and then push it to the end so that your crease mark can be seen, and then burnish it. This is also the stage, once we've got it to this point, this is the stage if you wanted to use printed papers or anything to line your base, then do that now before you put the pockets together. I'm going to turn that around and do it again on this side. So when you're gluing, your open side is always pointing that way. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a little bit up from there and there, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to pull it up to the edge like so, and burnish that in so it's flat against or flush with this end of your pocket. Then these 2, that'll annoy me, sorry, thank you. So these 2 now get put on to there. Okay, so this one, So that one and that one gets put onto there. So let's put our pockets together first so you get it. So that one goes onto there and that one goes onto there, and that creates your 2 pockets. Now you could just leave it as 1 pocket and have that, because when you put that down, it will be a pocket at the back, it just won't be a hinged pocket. If you put the hinges on here, then that one will create your second hinge pocket. So it's entirely up to you what you do. You can just do one of these and you still have a flat pocket and a hinged pocket. If you want 2 hinged pockets, then you have to do the same to this one. I'm going to stick this to this now, and then so that won't let me make a mistake when I come to put these on, because that's easily done as well. And the way I do this is I do one at a time. There's no point in trying to do it all together because there's too much room to yeah. I'm just making sure that I've got these at the either end. If I'd have put it on that way, they'd be together. So you just need to make sure that you've got it at either end. And we're just going to do exactly the same with this one. So we're just going to place it on the top of there, and we're just going to make it flush with that and do that. So that's what it looks like when you've done your one. Your V is sticking up on the inside. Okay, I'm going to do this one now. This one's not as easy to do. Okay, so I like to flatten this bit just so that I've not got a bouncy bit at the bottom, and then that should literally fall into place. If you need to manoeuvre it, you can get in at this point and just manoeuvre it outwards to the edge of there. Okay, and I've just made a little bubble. Right, so that's my pocket done. So there's your pocket. What you need to do at this stage as well is you just need to put a spot of glue there and a spot of glue there on either side of your V and pinch them together, because you want the bottoms to be as flat as possible. So if you just flatten those, it just helps. You've got to do the whole thing. I'm just showing you what to do. So that's just that, and then we just come in here then, and we literally just put a little bead all the way along the bottom edge till you get to that bit, and then there you go. So you've created your first file pocket there. And as I say, these can be squished a little bit if you want them to be. I like the springiness in mine. I don't normally burnish, but you can, and it does help with the closure of it a little bit. Okay, so then to join that into there, we just need to add these to our file folder. And same again here, the V goes in the middle, pointing into the pocket area. So it's this bit. Okay, just a little bit up from the crease, and then pull it out towards the edge of your page, and then line it up before pressing it in. Okay, do the same the other side. So again, V goes into the middle, so this is your piece that you are sticking in. and then just a little bit up from the bottom, and then onto the edge. I can push that in. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to put H on there now. Yeah, and then what we do is we glue that, and then we stick this one down, and then the same for that one when we come to do it. So let's just get on and do it. Okay. First one, I'm just going to hold it down, pop that on, and then I'm just going to pick that up and push that out. Okay. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, my camera keeps going out of focus. Why has my camera gone out of focus? I don't know. Can we get it back? Just bear with me. Oh, that's it. It's come back. You probably need to cut that out. So on to our last piece. I'm going to do the same with that. If you want to, you can pick it up. And if I can, I will show you this way. Probably easier actually. Bend your file back. Pull this down with one hand and this down with another. And then pop that where you want it and pop that where you want it. And just stick it in. There we go. And then you literally can do that. And then that's what your pocket will look like. Don't forget you've closed this one so it's not fully open. Okay. And you've got that on both sides. Then what we do is exactly the same. We stick a piece, a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue there, a little bit there and a little bit there. And then we're just going to squeeze those in. I've put that pocket too low, I think. Let's just have a look before I do it. Yeah, I have. I've put it too low. So I'm not going to be able to do that without taking that off. So this is what not to do and what to watch for. Okay. See, I need it to stick that way, so that's what we need to do. I need to re-stick that down. Let's fold that. Let me just close that at the bottom as well. It makes it a little bit easier. So this is what not to do. So we're just going to re-close that back up. But what we're going to do is we're going to lie that flat and then we're going to lie that one in like so. Then we'll line it up. Yeah, because you can line it up afterwards. Oh dear. You can line it up afterwards. I'm going to need more glue on there. Sorry about this. But this is how you learn. So basically what we're doing is we're going to make sure by pushing that down that we get a gap from this end to that end, and it's the same amount of gap. And then we're just going to pop that in there. Okay, we haven't closed that pocket yet, so that pocket is still open at the bottom, but don't worry about that just yet. Get your pieces in and make sure that they are level and that your flap closes. And there we go. Okay, so we fixed that issue. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to put another, oh, I haven't closed this one. I'll close that side up. Right, so we've got my page still hasn't stuck properly. I'm not taking it out purely because if you make mistakes, you're going to need to know, sorry, you're going to need to know how to fix them. So I'm leaving it in because I've done this a few times and that's the first time I've got it wrong. So yeah, you can see where you've got to glue now on this pocket. Make sure it's not this one. So if you have to open up these just to make sure you're not gluing the wrong piece, that's fine. So you haven't got a lot of room, but you're just going to go on the inside of there. Whoops. Okay, and then we're just going to squeeze those down. Okay. Okay, so you can close those now. That's your pocket side done. And then that's what closes over the front of there. And that's basically your folio. Now you should have 3 pieces left, which is your piece of acetate and your 2 pockets for this piece. And the reason we're not putting those on yet is because, one, we need the paper to go in here so that you can put this acetate on. So if you want to, you can put your pieces in to where, just so that you don't forget as you come to do it on the next stage. And then these 2, one is for the outside and one is for the inside of this pocket. And this is why I say, really, if you're not completely happy with your 2 pockets, because it is quite a large space and you do get quite a lot in there, all you have to do is just take your one hinge out, leave that one as a flat pocket and leave that one as a gusseted pocket, and that would work out fine too. So that's your big pocket for this side and your small pocket for that side. You can't put those in, unfortunately, and the only reason why I want to leave them off is because we don't gusset these to put them on. I want to be able to paper where I need to before I put them on, so that's going to stay there. So that's the basis of our folio done, and not a bad job. So I think we're almost finished with that. So the next part will be the page decorations. So what we'll do next, I think in the next video, is we'll come back and we will paper our folio up and make the topper maybe, and we'll see how far we get. But I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've got something from it, or at least if you're joining in, do let me know, because it is always nice to know if there's anybody following what you're doing. So we should get a nice little folio at the end. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that then. If you've any questions, do leave me a comment. I will get back to you. As I said, I will try and get the measurements at the end of this video put up on the screen, so at least you can screenshot it. If not, what I will do is I'll write them up and I will put it up on here so that you can copy it, screenshot it again still. Anything else, just do let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment if you need to know anything, or even just to say hi. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. See you soon. Bye for now.